first to the destination wins. The loser is eliminated. If you win, choose to upgrade your car or steal theirs. Search the world to find hidden car drops, but get caught outside the arena and you'll be eliminated. Survive until the end, and you'll secure a spot in the final showdown. Win, and you'll enter the Illuminati. Wouldn't make a bad video game, actually.
All right, it's time. I have a supposedly impassable muddy spring road, a team of motocross riders, and an urgent need to see what you make of this. Meet me at the start line. Turn left. Calculating route. In 100 meters, turn right.
Yes! Just checking the data here on my laptop. Looks like, yep, that was more than crazy enough.
soon.
Good morning, children.
Good morning.
Good morning,
This
ma'am.
is 9J.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am,
morning.
9G and 9T.
Good morning.
E. Both are there. I'm so sorry because there was some question being put up by class 10, so I was just explaining them, so I got late. Okay, children, so what we were studying on the last term?
Ma'am, we were making the notes and we were till radicals.
Radicals. Okay. So we did the radicals. Now I think I you the different radicals of sulfur, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, all these?
Ma'am, sulfur we have done.
Sulfur. Only sulfur you have done.
Yes, ma'am.
See how much you have done?
Ma'am, the last thing we did was, ma'am, radicals, and ma'am, we did 5 radicals of sulfur.
5 radicals. Okay, I think 9J hasn't done that. So I'll just take up that with, we'll move further, and 9J also can write down more of this is just I'm giving you so that you could understand and you can remember them properly, because it's in the book, it's given haphazardly anywhere they have given. So I'm giving you at becomes easier for you to understand. Yes?
Ma'am, last class was a combined class, so both the sections are together. They are on the same sheet.
So that means 9G also must have done the same thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you written the radicals of nitrogen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Please write down that. Radicals of nitrogen. Sulfur, everybody has completed. These were the radicals of sulfur.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's come to radicals of nitrogen. Then I'll give you radicals of oxygen. The common ones I'm giving you so that it becomes easier when you are learning it. It makes your study more systematic. Okay, let's come to radicals of oxygen. Oxygen can be O2 minus, which is known as oxide. Then you have O2 2 minus. This is peroxide. And this difference should be clearly understood by you. Right, children? This is very, very important one, and they usually ask you. This should be very clear that O2 minus is oxide, but O2 2 minus is peroxide. Then let's come to oxides of chlorine. Along with this, I'm also giving you hydroxide also, whereas OH minus is known as peroxide. You must be knowing it also. Those who have learnt it in junior classes, you must be knowing it. Hydroxide. Then let's come to radicals of chlorine. Chlorine, you have Cl minus is known as chloride. Okay, then you have ClO3 minus. Minus means 1 minus always. Then it is chloride. chlorate, ATE. Then it is, when the oxygen is less, then it ends with ITE in a radical, and when oxygen numbers are more, then it is ending with ATE. The same kind of a radical, if I write ClO with 1 minus, this is known as hypochlorite, or you also call it as chlorite also, ending with ITE. That is one of the terminology which goes in with the radicals. Okay, so you have these many for the chlorine radicals. Done, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody has written. Can we move further?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then come to radicals of, let's talk about, what else is left? I'm giving you halogens, radicals of halogens. And halogens are quite easy to remember. You know F minus, Cl minus, they all have 1 minus charge, Br minus and I minus. This is fluorite. This is not fluorine. Whenever it's a charged ion, always ends with E. This is chloride. This is bromide and iodide. Rest some complex radicals are, because these are usually used in the complex compounds, so I'll give you under the heading as complex radicals or radicals of complex compounds. Yes, Jayanti ma'am. अरे मैम वो मैंने मॉर्निंग में करी थी, एक्चुअली तृप्ति मैम ने बताया ही नहीं कि उन्होंने लिंक नहीं देखा और नहीं बताया मैम, उन्होंने कहा कि तुमको भेजना था। मैंने कहा मैम मैं तो अपने ही सारे अरेंजमेंट्स देखते देखते मेरे दिमाग से स्किप हो गया कि मुझे 10J का भी देना चाहिए था, मुझे ही देना है। उन्होंने कल भी नहीं बताया मुझे, फिर आज मैंने जब कॉल किया तो पता चला कि उन्होंने कल मुझे बताया ही नहीं कि 10J ने ज्वाइन नहीं किया। आज उनको फिर दिया बच्चों को। आई नो, मैंने कहा मैम थोड़ा सा अगर कल बच्चों ने नहीं ज्वाइन किया था आप मुझे एक बार इन्फॉर्म कर देती। कि नहीं इट्स ड्यूटी ऑफ क्लास टीचर्स। ठीक है तो मेरी गलती है, तो मैं दे दिया बच्चों को समय मॉर्निंग में। हाँ क्या बोलेगा, मैंने कहा ठीक है। ऐसे भी वो सुनैना की मदर का स्टूडेंट को तो आई वाज लिटिल अपसेट। I don't know. I don't know how much she's managing. What did I do? Oh. Mhm. Mhm. I know. It's a very tough situation.
Ma'am, can you show it again? Ma'am, done.
Yes, Sudha. Now we'll move to compound formation. How a compound is formed. Okay. Now, first of all, there is a rule while making a compound or any compound we talk about. It is always the element which has less non-metallic character is written first and more non-metallic character is written later. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about the metallic element is written first and non-metallic is written later. Children, please do remind me of your class timing because I tend to forget. It was Jayati ma'am's call, so I was supposed to take that. Will you be able to inform me for the timing, children? I don't remember.
Ma'am, it is from 11:10 to 11:50 this week.
10:10 to 10:50.
10 to 10:50. Okay, so then we have plenty of time. We have 20 minutes time. Okay, let's come to compound formation. So I was talking about compound formation is a compound is formed when a metallic part is written first and non-metallic part is written later. Like, suppose if we take an example, I'll start with a very simple example, sodium. Please open your valency chart. If you don't have, you can open it. I have already forwarded in all the WhatsApp groups and on GCs also. You can just see it and refer to that when I'm taking up the compound formation. Like sodium has, this is just to make you explain first of all. Sodium has +1 valency. Chlorine has how much?
-1.
-1. And you know, crisscross the valencies are to be written for formation of a compound. So what will be the compound formed here?
NaCl.
Sodium chloride.
Yeah, sodium chloride, that is NaCl. And remember, in these compounds, when you're writing them in words, the non-metallic part should always end with IDE. That's why it is not sodium chlorine. It is known as sodium chloride. Similarly, suppose if I say calcium oxide. If I say calcium oxide, calcium has a valency of +2 and oxygen I just gave you has a valency of -2. Now please remember, whenever such type of compounds are there, those who have same number of positive and negative, they always cancel each other and this is taken as 1 over here. Okay. So what will be the formula for calcium oxide? Again,
CO.
CaO. Similarly, if I say magnesium hydroxide.
Ma'am, MgOH whole twice.
Yeah. Now, you should know how this formula has been formed. Okay. Now, magnesium has how much valency, children?
Ma'am, 2 plus 2.
2 plus 2. Okay. Hydroxide has how much? -1. Again, please remember these valencies are written crisscross. And when you write crisscross, and if you have a radical with group of atoms, that has to be put into bracket. You can't just write directly. So this will be Mg. Because it's 1, so you don't have to write 1. 1 is understood that if you don't write anything, that means it's 1 only. Okay, now it's a group of radical this type, so put it into bracket and this valency has to be shown here. Crisscross the valency have to be used. Yes. Now I would like to take up some formula making exercises with you from the exercises which I have given at the back of the chapter. Okay, but before that, I'll tell you there are certain rules for naming these chemical compounds. First of all, remember, as I said, when a metal and a non-metal are together, like magnesium hydroxide, sodium chloride, calcium oxide, calcium is a metal, another one is a non-metal. Yes, Aaron, any question? Okay. So when a metal and a non-metal are combining, metal name is written first and non-metal always ends with IDE. This is one very important rule. Secondly, when two non-metals are combining, like suppose I take an example of CO2. How do we name it?
Calcium dioxide. Sorry, ma'am.
Carbon
Carbon dioxide.
carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. And remember the second element, because both are non-metals, so the second non-metal, as many atoms are present, those should be reflected. So for 2 it is di, for 1 it is mono, for 3 it is tri. Okay, so this is carbon di, and oxygen is to end with IDE. Suppose if I say SO3, what will be the name here?
Sulfur dioxide.
Trioxide. Yeah. Tri stands for 3. Similarly, I'll just take one more example. I hope you must have written these examples, children. Okay, don't write it. I'll give you in the exercise. This was just for the explanation. Come to CCl4. What will be the name? This is carbon and
Carbon tetrachloride.
yes. For 4 we use tetra. Carbon tetrachloride, because both are non-metals. Okay, so the second part has to end with IE. Similarly, if I say PCl5, now name it.
Phosphorus
Pentachloride.
Phosphorus
Pentachloride.
phosphorus pentachloride. Right. Okay, then come to if the 2 elements are there and an oxygen is also present there. Like suppose I say, how do we name it? KClO3. Now you have 2 elements,
Potassium chloride.
and you have a oxygen also present there. So, and you also have KClO2. Now, please remember, if the same kind of a formula is there, one has a lesser oxygen, other one has a more number of oxygen. So, the one which is lesser oxygen will be known as potassium
chloride.
chloride, yes, ending with ITE. And when you have more number of oxygen, then it's potassium chlorate. So these are certain rules which you have to keep in mind when you name the compounds.
So should we write these in the copy?
If you want, you can write down in the copy also. This is just to make you understand, although I will be taking up the exercises. Similarly, if I say KClO4, keep writing, have it with you in the notebooks. Okay, what will be the name for this? This is known as, because now more, we already added ATE here over here, and this has more number of oxygen here. So then we write it perchlorate. So this becomes potassium perchlorate. Just to differentiate between them. Similarly, it is KClO. The least number of oxygen, so it will be known as hypo. Okay, so we call it as potassium
Hypochlorite.
number of oxygen. It has to end with ITE only, but potassium hypochlorite. Otherwise, you will not find any difference between this and this. So to differentiate between them, this has least oxygen, so it's we have added hypo. This is hypochlorite. Yes.
And then what we will write hypochlorite. Ma'am, what is the formula for that?
Pardon?
Ma'am, formula for potassium hypochlorite.
Formula for
Potassium chlorate.
chlorate? ATE.
Yes,
This is potassium chlorate, KClO3. KClO4 we call it as potassium perchlorate. When it is KClO, then we call it as potassium hypochlorite. Okay?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are those who have the book with them, they are going to open the book to page number 15. I'll give you the assignments, but right now in the class, we can take up some of the formula making Have you all noted this down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
How many of them are writing?